Where's my D20? Gobbo! Hello and welcome to Hobb's Horror Stories. I am Hob, your hobgoblin narrator, back this week to provide more great TTRPG horror stories for you. This week we have two stories for you. Our first story is about a murder-hobo incel who just can't take a hint. Make sure you stay and watch till the end of the video to see the second story as well, and you can see if you can guess today's theme. Today's story comes from Reddit on r/rpghorrorstories and was written by Ginger Chainsmoker. The title of today's story is So, I Met an Incel. A quick warning as we get into this first story, it does have NSFW topics, so be warned now. Very recent story, 2 days ago. Well, this was posted 5 years ago, so 5 years and 2 days ago, new guy joins a Call of Cthulhu campaign midway, set in America in the 1930s. The first session, he spends 2 hours choosing a character. First a Yakuza boss, a science experiment, a Tibetan monk, a renegade samurai, all based on anime characters. We lightly pushed him until he settled into a military tech with PTSD, a murdered family, and a trained dog. Alright. So, first session he played in, the evil bad guy says, "Whatever you do, don't push this button, or I'll die." The whole party goes, "Seriously? Reverse psychology? It's definitely a trap." He starts going with, "I'm touching it." Dude, no. He does. It was a trap. All of our good NPCs die. All the enemies aggro. And the Keeper bends reality and saves all the players. But the mission fails. Words fly. We meet over coffee to show him we weren't angry for real.
Okay, so that's a really good thing to do if you get into a heated in-character argument when playing a tabletop RPG. Sometimes people can get so in character that they can get very emotionally charged. Whether it's all an act for dramatic effect, or they get so caught up in the moment and in their characters' heads that they do get emotional, it can freak people out who aren't expecting it or aren't on the same level of immersion. Recognizing that and making an effort to reach out to the other players, regardless of the situation, is a very appreciated move and can prevent issues from arising because of miscommunication and misconstruement.
He gets creepy over the, "I'm a nice guy, but girls always go for the bad boys."
Oh boy. Listen, if you have to call yourself nice, you're probably not as nice as you think you are.
Then tries to hit on my girlfriend.
My case in point? This idiot.
We are both girls. And we are fucking lesbians. I joke. Dude, she's not interesting. We have a, no penis rule. He then goes on saying his penis is small, and she won't even notice. Dude.
No. Oh, just as small as his IQ.
We poker face before laughing about it. Next comes the second session, and the last session. He asks to re-roll his stats, claiming he didn't know enough about the game before. Keeper is fine with it. 2 hours later, he has his character that has 99% in shooting, 99% in persuading, 99% in animal training, and that's it. Fine. He then spends an honest-to-God 2 hours on his own, haggling over fake money with random people. When he meets the other players' characters, he talks to us like a Skyrim NPC, then decides he wants to be an expert about Cthulhu.
Guys, I found him. It's the John Cthulhu, Mr. Call of Cthulhu himself.
Piece of cake when he fails the sanity check and finds himself walking around with his gun. Keeper says, "You wake up, you are in an alley, you have your gun, and a homeless man is begging you not to hurt him." He shrugs. "I kill him." Police come. "I kill them."
Nobody can kill John Cthulhu.
Keeper tries the "there's a gate behind you." Player, can I aim to their head since they're driving a police car?
John Wick's got nothing on this guy.
A policeman kills his character. Why are you punishing me over a homeless man? Dude. It's small, she won't even notice. It's small, she won't even notice. Alright, so for all of our listeners out there who do not know what an incel is, that stands for involuntary celibate. These are guys who pretty much decided that no girl wants them, so they are going to spend every waking minute on the internet trolling women and shit-talking women instead of, working on their own goddamn personality. Maybe no one wants to be with you because you're a grimy loser who has no life and dedicates his entire life to hating other people. Maybe that's the reason, but taking care of yourself, going to the gym, going out in the sun, existing, developing any hobbies at all. And when you do get those hobbies, don't be a dick to the people who are doing the hobby with you. God, I hate incels. I mean, I hate a lot of people, but I especially hate incels. Alright, well, now time for the second story. I hope you guessed today's theme, because today's theme is Incel! Yay! Alright, well this next story is an interesting one, as OP is deemed an incel by another player. Let's see if he really is. This story also comes from r/rpghorrorstories and was written by Data the Great. The title of today's story is Another Player Calls Me an Incel for Rolling Too Well and that I was playing a toxic and overpowered character. We played only 3 sessions together, all of them online. The players were me, another guy, and 2 girls. We were playing in a homebrew campaign, and the DM told us a bit before that the setting was about a world where the world was still recovering from a war that happened several centuries ago and had left most of the world inhabitable and cursed. The backstory for my character was that he used to be a half-orc who had fought in the war, was gravely injured, and had his body turned into a warforge. However, the artificers making him were attacked before he could be activated again, and he remained deactivated all this time. The rest of the party found him in a ruin, and he somehow became activated. Basically, I just wanted to play a badass paladin, and I also got really lucky rolling for stats. I didn't have a single stat lower than a 10. Hey, it's rare, but it does happen. I've seen it happen. I watched a player at one of my tables roll 4 18s, a 15, and a 12. Some people just have that luck. I don't. I rolled all 10s and a 16. Alright, back to the story. The DM thought my character had a cool story and a badass design and let me play. The rest of the party didn't have a problem except one girl, Jess. And she was playing a tiefling rogue from royalty.
Oh boy. There's just something about tiefling rogues and tiefling sorcerers that just attracts the worst kind of people. I've played with quite a few of them, and I can name on one finger the amount that I've actually enjoyed being at the table with.
She hated how my character had been introduced differently while the rest had met in a bar. The war my character had fought in was against demons, and tieflings did not exist back then, and by some coincidence both the girls were playing tieflings. So my character kept his distance, which I thought would make sense, but she didn't like it and said that it was sexist and racist even though the other girl didn't mind. Also, the other guy was playing a soldier half-orc fighter. So to me it just made sense that my character would trust him the most at the start. In character, the others asked my PC about his family, and he had told them that he had left his wife and child when he had been getting called to arms, and he regretted it every day. Jess, out of character, started calling this an incel fantasy, and that my character had every red flag imaginable. She also hated that I had a high AC and did lots of damage, like paladins do. We got into an argument and the others had to stop the game because she kept insulting me. He later sent a long message saying that she doesn't want to play with us because I am an incel and left the group. The DM later asked his cousin to play with us. OP, in no way do I think that you are an incel for this. I also don't have enough context, so maybe some other things going on could have led to her saying that, but from the story that I'm seeing here, I don't think that you're an incel. I see someone playing as a standard fantasy background with a tragic backstory. If that makes you an incel, then 90% of the male antagonists from media are also incels. I think what this more so has to do with is that Jess just doesn't like you, for whatever reason, and is trying to find a way to convince everyone else at that table not to like you and to boot you out from the gate. A trend over the past 5 years or so has been hating on men for just being men. And no, this doesn't mean that I agree with Andrew Tate or any of the alpha or sigma male bullshit. I just see no need for someone to say, I hate all men. Instead, how about we all just learn to get to know a person as an individual? We don't need to judge them based on something that is out of their control, like their race, sex, gender, sexuality. We need to judge the person themselves. Alright, I'm hopping off my soapbox. Let's wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's story. If you have any stories you would like to have read here on the channel, please share them to the email in the description below. Also, if you could please like, comment, and subscribe, it would help us greatly to slay the monster known as the algorithm. Also, if you're looking for more great horror stories like these, please click the link at the end of this video. Thank you from all of us here at Goblins and Gremlins.